Hello, my name is Thomas Kingery,
I'm Zainab, Yusuf.
Michael Morales.
and today we're going to present to you a proposal for a research experiment to investigate the question, does implicit bias training in a police department affect the perceptions of arresting officers and the number of reports of police violence against African Americans?
So for research, design, and data collection, we chose quasi-experimental, specifically non-equivalent comparison. And for the treatment groups, we chose the San Francisco Police Department, and control group is the Oakland Police Department, which are both similar. And the year-long study will be longitudinal. Data collection methods, testing the race, implicit attitude tests, acronym IAT, and weapons IAT, created by Project Implicit. Training and tests will be conducted on the treatment group, while only tests will be administered to the control group. Secondhand source, mappingpoliceviolence.org. In order to measure the number of acts of police violence against African Americans, these researchers will compare statistical data provided by a secondhand source at 2 points during the experiment. The target population. The target population are the police officers that go on patrol. For this study, we will be using the San Francisco Police Department and the Oakland Police Department. Since this study is concerned with police violence, the elements of this experiment will not include police officers that perform their duties behind a desk within the department. The sampling technique. Purposive sampling will utilize to gain participants for this study. The rationale of the sampling method chosen is we have chosen the San Francisco PD and the Oakland PD as the samples for our experiment because they are similar in size and officer demographics. The crime rates for both cities are also similar and are within 5% of each other. Both police departments are in the San Francisco Bay Area and often deal with the same type of crimes. Both departments have a similar history of police violence against the African American population.
Some special considerations for our experiment are, before the beginning of the experiment, all participants and their supervisors will be informed of the study that we'll be conducting, and consent forms will be signed. Participants take tests anonymously in order to promote their honesty. The independent and dependent variables of our experiment are the implicit bias training itself is the independent variable, where police prejudice and police violence against African Americans will be the dependent variable. Normalization and measurements. Both the control and treatment groups will be administered the IAT, which stands for Implicit Attitude Test, and the race IAT and the weapons IAT. These tests were designed by a nonprofit organization called Project Implicit, where they developed testing techniques to measure the implicit biases that everybody has in the world. Implicit bias is a necessary thing that our brains do in order to process the world quickly and not require us to think about every little thing that we see. Our brain has learned to make judgments about things, and these judgments can be unconscious and learned as we grow up. So the 6-course implicit bias training course will be given to the treatment group. The course will educate the participants of implicit bias and teach them how to recognize their own biases while they're out on patrol. Techniques will be taught to participants as tools to prevent biased behavior on the streets. The control group will not receive any of this training regarding bias towards other people. So it'll just be the treatment group receiving the training, where the control group will not receive the training. Statistical data on police violence will be against African Americans will be obtained for a 6-month period before the implicit bias test, training, and presented 6 months after the training course is done. And data will be collected on both the control group as well as the treatment group from a secondary source, a website known as mappingpoliceviolence.org. This organization collect statistics from all across the United States on all the police departments and records them all in one spot where you can compare police departments all across the country in regards to police violence against African Americans. The data from the pre-tests and the post-tests will be evaluated and recorded for each police department. By comparing the pre-test data to the post-test data of each department will help establish the degree of effectiveness that implicit bias training has on police prejudice, and the statistical data we collect will measure the amount of police violence that has occurred before and after the training course. This measurement will imply the success or failure of implicit bias training in reducing the number of acts of police violence.
For the limitations, the sample population was determined by purposive sampling, a non-probability sampling technique, and may not accurately portray the target population. Ethical consideration. The tests are taken anonymously, however, a danger may exist for those African Americans that are confronted by the control group on the street. Reliability and validity of instrument. We use triangulation. We'll be using both testing and statistic data in order to obtain accurate results on the test. I will make sure that the participants have clear understanding how the test will operate before they take it. This is to reduce error. Internal validity of the design. Test threat is a concern because the same test is offered as the pre-test as well as the post-test. Selection bias also may threaten the internal validity of this study because the differences of African Americans living in the city of Oakland is about 20% higher than African American population of San Francisco. External validity. This study involves only 2 police departments out of the thousands or so in the United States. Therefore, it will not be able to generalize to all police departments in the United States and may only apply to police departments in San Francisco Bay Area.
So thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you.